FBI Director James Comey went before the House Judiciary Committee and he defended Hillary Clinton and disregarded evidence which suggested that her IT guy tried to go to Reddit to cover her tracks. Now, let me remind you that he did all of this while insisting that the FBI was an impartial organization. So Politico explains, "You can call us wrong, but don't call us weasels. We are not weasels," Comey declared Wednesday at a House Judiciary Committee hearing. "We are honest people, and whether or not you agree with the result, this was done the way you want it to be done." The normally stoic FBI chief grew emotional and emphatic as he rejected claims from Republican lawmakers that the FBI was essentially in the tank for Clinton when it recommended that neither she nor any of her aides be prosecuted in connection with the presence of classified information on Clinton's private email server. He acknowledged he has no patience for such allegations. "I knew there were going to be all kinds of rocks thrown, but this organization and the people who did this are honest, independent people. We do not carry water for one side or the other. That's hard for people to see because so much of our country, we see things through sides," Comey said. "We are not on anybody's side." Can you explain then why Brian Shira, who did exactly what Hillary Clinton did, was prosecuted, but Hillary Clinton was not prosecuted? See, what you've done is set up a two-tier justice system where the poor will be prosecuted if they commit crimes, and the rich won't even be indicted. So the elites and the powerful people that live in this country can get away with anything they want to, and poor people, like usual, will be punished to the fullest extent of the law. That's not impartiality, and yes, you are weasels. Now, I'm not alleging that James Comey and the FBI is in the tank for Hillary Clinton, but he is holding her to a different standard because she's powerful. Now, here's what else we know. Hillary and Bill Clinton are as entrenched as you can be within the Washington political establishment, and they have friends in every single government agency. And look, there were a lot of suspicious things that went on prior to the announcement of your decision to not recommend an indictment, such as the private meeting that Bill Clinton held with Attorney General Loretta Lynch. Now, in spite of all of this, Comey still maintains that the FBI did not treat Hillary Clinton different. Comey insisted there is no double standard, though he said there would be serious consequences short of criminal prosecution if FBI personnel handled classified information as Clinton and her aides did. What that is, James Comey, is called a contradiction. See, you chose not to do anything to Hillary Clinton. She didn't even get a slap on the wrist. So you just admitted there that yes, if someone else did what Hillary Clinton did, there would be consequences. And this is what you said during the announcement where you said you would not recommend an indictment of Hillary.
To be clear, this is not to suggest that in similar circumstances, a person who engaged in this activity would face no consequences. To the contrary, those individuals are often subject to security or administrative sanctions, but that's not what we're deciding now.
We're not claiming that you're in the tank for Hillary Clinton or that you were bought off by Hillary Clinton or that there is some kind of quid pro quo. What we're saying is that because she's an oligarch, you're holding her to a different standard than everyone else. Take a look at a video that I covered a couple of months ago. In 2015, a naval reservist named Brian E Shamira also mishandled classified information. So according to the FBI, Shamira had access to classified briefings and digital records that could only be retained and viewed on authorized government computers. Shamira, however, caused the materials to be downloaded and stored on his personal, unclassified electronic devices and storage media. He carried such classified materials on his unauthorized media when he traveled off base in Afghanistan and ultimately carried those materials back to the United States at the end of his deployment. In the United States, Shamira continued to maintain the information on unclassified systems in unauthorized locations and copied the materials onto at least one additional unauthorized and unclassified system. Shamira's actions came to light in early 2012 when he admitted to naval personnel that he had handled classified materials inappropriately. Shamira later admitted that, following his statement to naval personnel, he destroyed a large quantity of classified materials he had maintained in his home. Despite that, when the Federal Bureau of Investigation searched Shamira's home in May 2012, agents recovered numerous classified materials in digital and hard copy forms. The investigation did not reveal evidence that Shamira intended to distribute classified information to unauthorized personnel. I'm going to read that last part again. The investigation did not reveal evidence that E Shamira intended to distribute classified information to unauthorized personnel. So there are many parallels here between this and the Hillary Clinton case. Was he extremely careless? Sure, you can say that. He destroyed a large quantity of classified materials, same like Hillary Clinton deleted thousands of emails. He also mishandled classified information by storing it on devices that weren't secure, and like Hillary Clinton, he did not intend to distribute classified information. So the question is, what happened to Brian E Shamira? Well, not only was it recommended that he be indicted, but he was indicted, and he was prosecuted and charged. So he was put on probation for 2 years, and he was fined $7,500. So by not recommending an indictment of Hillary Clinton, this illustrates that, guilt, it doesn't necessarily matter so much as your status does. So after watching that video, you have to come out and explain that if there's no double standard, why is it that the FBI chose to prosecute Brian E Shamira but let Hillary Clinton go? They couldn't even recommend an indictment. It's not up to the FBI to prosecute Hillary Clinton, nor is it even within the realm of their responsibility to indict her. All they can do is tell the Justice Department, yes, you should indict her. That's it. They could just make a recommendation, and you didn't even do that in spite of the evidence. Yet, Brian E Shamira was prosecuted. There is a double standard. I don't care what you say. Now, last week, I told you guys about how Hillary Clinton's IT guy, Paul Comey, took to Reddit to cover up Hillary Clinton's tracks for her. And again, we have yet to confirm whether or not this is in fact Paul Comey, even though the evidence is overwhelming. But this is what James Comey said about that. The FBI concluded that a computer technician working on Clinton's email was not engaged in an illicit cover-up when he asked on the Reddit website for a tool that could delete a VIP email address throughout a large file, FBI Director James Comey said Wednesday. Comey said he wasn't sure whether the FBI knew about the Reddit posting when prosecutors granted Comey immunity to get statements from him about what transpired. However, he added that such a deletion wouldn't automatically be considered an effort to destroy evidence. Not necessarily. It would depend what his intention was and why he wanted to do it, the FBI director said. Well, of course you have to grant Hillary Clinton and her IT guys deference because she's an oligarch and they were representing her, but when it comes to people like Brian E Shamira, who's just a peasant, well, you have to expect that they were trying to distribute classified information with the intent to harm the United States, even though you claim there's no intent there for him. But it only matters if other people don't have intent, not when Hillary Clinton has intent. So, this just demonstrates that powerful people can do incredibly shady things and get away with it. And now, of course, Democratic Party loyalists are saying, look, it's over. This is just a Republican witch hunt because, surprise, surprise, guess who else, quote, lost 22,000 emails and had their own private email server? George W. Bush. So checkmate, progressives. What are you going to do now? Are you going to join the Republicans and continue this right-wing witch hunt against Hillary Clinton? See, you think that there's a double standard there and that people only care about Hillary Clinton's emails because they hate her. But when it comes to George Bush, you think that we're willing to give him a pass. But if that's the response, then you have the incorrect response. I don't care about your party affiliation. I, like many other liberals, dislike the fact that we live in an oligarchy with a two-tier justice system where these powerful elites that are too big to jail can get away with anything. So I don't give a shit if you're a Republican or a Democrat. This is bigger than that. This is about American justice. So my opinion on Clinton's emails remains exactly the same. I'm not saying that what Hillary Clinton did was a jailable or even prosecutable offense. I'm just saying that she should have been indicted so that way the evidence can be heard before a judge. And guess what? Since this information about George Bush has come to light, I think he should be investigated and potentially indicted as well. The correct response from progressives is not to say, well, I have to back off of this email scandal now because George Bush did it too, so I'm backed into a corner. No! Indict them all. Indict anyone who wants to break the laws. I don't care if you're rich or poor. We have to treat everyone the same way. That's where the double standard comes in. That's what's wrong. That's our contention. This is bigger than Hillary Clinton. This is bigger than this election. If you break the laws, like these Wall Street crooks, like many CEOs, you have to go to jail. We have to treat everyone the same way. That's the point. But we're not doing that. By letting Hillary Clinton get a pass, by not recommending an indictment, you're saying that the rich elites in this country can do what they want, and that sets an example to many of them that they can do what they want, hence why they do what the fuck they want to do. But poor people, if you break the law, you're going to get locked up, you're going to go straight to jail. And it's wrong. It's completely wrong. So this isn't about Democrats or Republicans. This is about rich versus poor. This is about class differences and how the US has further become an oligarchy where we allow our elites to get away with anything. We allowed George W. Bush to get away with war crimes. President Obama did nothing. And now we're allowing George W. Bush and Hillary Clinton to get away with being incredibly suspicious so that way they can hide their emails so that way it won't be subject to FOIA requests. Bullshit. If you're going to try to break the law, then I think that you should at least be indicted. That's what this is about. It's bigger than this election. It's bigger than any party.